This is Signature Gold. .TV.
Stand by for transmission.
This is Smithy.tv.
I've eaten lots of food, I've had lots to drink, and then I went and took a piss. Then I turned on this podcast that is called Cast This!
Let's try this again.
Hello and welcome to Cast This. I'm James Scott.
I'm Ryan Goldhart.
And we're engaged. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today is Jefferson Brown, a good friend of ours here at Casting Central. How are you doing, Jefferson?
Doing well, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Jefferson,
You're so patient with our inability to be anything but professional.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
awesome.
our passion for each other tends to take over, and I'm sorry you had to bear witness to that.
That's all right. That's all right.
But that's better than witnessing us bear.
Oh, well played.
Thank you so much. Jefferson is one of my favorite actors here in the city, and you're having a phenomenal year.
Doing good. Doing good. Yeah, everything seems to be going in the right direction.
Yeah. There was a time, when we talk in years past where, you were struggling a bit, to get the parts.
As always.
It seems to be a standard.
As is the case for anybody in the business, I think.
Yeah, in the English-Canadian business, certainly.
Yeah.
What are you working on this year? What have you got? What's in the can and what's coming up?
What's in the can coming up? Okay, well, we got a lot of films over the last 8 or so months.
Are we talking films as opposed to series?
Yeah, a bit of everything, actually.
What films we got? Let's hear what they are.
We got the Canadian. We've got the Canadian feature, Mr. Viral. Mr. Viral was shot in December here in Toronto.
Can't hear you.
No? Are you sure? Should I be closer? Closer to the mic?
What do you think, Jody? Our producer?
We're okay here?
I think we're fine.
We're good here.
What do you think?
Yeah,
I think we're fine.
So what are you doing? What have you got in the can?
So, we got Mr. Viral.
We're engaged.
Okay. We got Mr. Viral coming out hopefully in the next little while. Canadian feature directed.
That's awfully similar to your nickname in university.
It's true.
Mr. Virus.
Yeah. No, I think it's semi-autobiographical. Yeah. No. So
we'll be right back.
It touches on many themes.
What is that about? Who are you in that with? And some details.
Some of the other cast. Well, we got Christian Lloyd.
Nice.
Who kind of plays my nemesis of sorts. The lovely Alex Appel.
Oh my goodness.
Is in it also, and there's Danny Waugh and Tamsin's whose last name I can't remember.
McDonough?
Yeah, beautiful girl.
We like redheads around here.
Yes, she's very nice, and that was good.
Who was the director on that?
That was Alex Boothby.
Yes, I remember the other Alex Appel telling me about that.
Yeah, CGI whiz kid who's had written the script a number of years ago and has been fine-tuning it and getting it set. And
did he have something
financed it? And,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Did he have something to do with that? Who's that guy? He's on the CSI. He was in Full Metal Jacket. What's that guy? You know what I'm talking about? Who played Private Pile in Full Metal Jacket?
Oh yeah.
What's his? He's in the CSI series now.
Oh, you're thinking of you're thinking of Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yes, I am. Did he do the CGI on that movie that Vincent D'Onofrio shot up here? The Cell.
Yes, he did.
There we go.
He also worked on Fight Club and Panic Room.
Wow,
fantastic. And, so he's got some credits, but
he's got some cred.
And other movies that have two words in the title.
Yeah.
And now as a director,
he was great. Yeah. No, it was excellent. It was a lot of fun to work with him and have all those who help out for the fact that it was something that they wanted to do with Alex. I mean, it was there were favors and people, donating their time and energy and taking pay cuts, and a lot of them were doing it out of the love the respect and the love for Alex, which was a nice environment to work in.
Nice.
So we did that, and
now is this his first attempt with actors as opposed to just being with CG? I mean, like he's always working with them, but I mean, there's a difference between a director who is technical.
This is his feature debut.
You're right.
And he couldn't have been any more professional. I mean, pants would have helped if he just wore pants once in a while. That would have.
Everyone has their own style.
But he does. Yeah, no, you can't deny there is a style to not wearing pants.
There is.
Saves on laundry.
Yes.
For one, so it's economical.
Well, that depends, because if you're just wearing underwear, or is it even underwear?
Depends.
What's going over
He's
here?
wearing
What's going on
depends?
over,
Yeah.
What's going on over here?
Yeah.
Diapers. Okay, well, I mean, then he's changing a lot.
He's looking at the frame and realized that the camera's
I
too
like
close on him.
You guys in the frame too.
birthday suit pants. Birthday suit pants.
Well, he was just saying he was wearing Depends.
But I don't like those. I like birthday suit pants.
Well, you can, but obviously, as a director, his choice was, instead of going to the washroom, just continuing on with the day. So he just wore.
Was he trying to set an example so that you guys wouldn't take a lot of breaks?
Yeah, we actually had
Yeah,
a no 10-1 policy on set.
Really?
Yeah. So there was no bathroom breaks
Yeah.
allowed.
In fact, I remember reading this in one of the trade mags. He actually forced all the talent to wear Depends as well on set, if I'm not mistaken.
You know, the funny thing is that if you were to watch the film, you may spot the odd person wearing the adult diaper.
Nice.
Just a thicker
In fact,
pant.
I guarantee it.
A buddy of mine did sound on that picture, and they had to Foley out. I don't know if that's even a phrase.
No.
But they had to, because when people would sit down, you hear this crinkle. Of
Yeah, no, it sounded like we're all sitting on potato chips.
Yeah, that's right.
Wrapped in shopping bags.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I'm glad you worked on that movie.
Me too.
And I'm glad you went poo-poo in your own pants while you shot it.
What's
good.
you do what you can
The
for the
smell on
for the
set
gift,
must
for
have been
the
something
love of the
fierce.
art.
Yeah,
Yes.
love. Yeah. What else have you done?
You want to keep going?
Let's keep going. I mean, or are we done? I mean, I think that's fantastic. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Okay. So there we go.
I think we have to take a break.
Yeah.
Oh, do we? Okay, we'll hear about another thing that Jefferson has done in his pants.
Right after this.
Are we back? Are we
Welcome back.
Ryan's expecting his first child. I mean him personally. Ryan just ran up and down the stairs to get some exercise.
I'm going to hold my breath. Maybe I'll be more out of breath after I'm done.
And plus, he is swooning at the sight of our handsome guest.
I am.
Jefferson Brown.
Hello.
Oh shucks.
Hi.
You guys.
You asked the next question.
Well, I think we're going to go back in time now. We started
Okay.
with sort of the present.
Okay.
Let's go to the beginning. So, I mean, one of the things we like to sort of bring out, because if our listeners are looking for anything, it's tips and tricks and why people get into the business at all. And
Hand jobs.
hand jobs might be
Sorry.
why you get
Sorry,
into
what
it.
was the question?
But why did you get into the business? Like, what was
I thought you were
your
gonna ask, how
driving
did I
force?
get
Why did you want to
I
be
thought
an
you were going to
actor?
ask how I got into
No,
this.
not
Oh.
how. Why? Like, what was your inspiration?
I think
Like,
that
was it-
answer's the same, though, isn't it?
Pretty close.
Yeah. How did you become an actor, and why did you want to become an actor?
I think I've always wanted to perform and be responsible for somebody laughing. And I went to a high school for the enriched arts, but they had a drama program. I was there for visual art. And so it didn't really feel like a place to try and fail, because it was made up of, the Hayden Christensens and the what's her
Was he there too?
Emmanuel Shrieky, and they all came from the same school. But he was there after me because I'm
Yeah.
old and
And he's
withered.
not as old, but,
No.
but withered.
Yeah,
But
I
not
don't know. I
nearly
can't
as
speak- I can't speak-
successful
I can't speak
as
for him.
you.
Yeah, he's trying. He's trying.
Yeah.
But no, so I didn't have I don't think an environment where I felt comfortable trying it for the first time, because I was never a child actor. I never did any stage and stuff. So I went to university for visual art, and in my third year I decided I was going to try acting, just because it was a small school and it was a safe environment, and tried it, fell in love with it, and everything else has been in I guess
Just
search of
brought forth
doing
with like
more.
theater that you did at school, like shows that the school would perform.
Yeah, well, we would do a sort of a gala musical every year, and,
Right.
and I enjoyed going to them in my first and second year, and decided if the show sounded like something I'd like to try, then I was going to try out for it in my third year. And the show we were putting on was the Gershwin "Crazy for You" musical, and it was something that I'd seen in Toronto when it was down at the
Did you sing in that
the Royal
show?
Alex, I think it was. What's that?
Do you sing in the show?
No. I was thankfully cast in like the one role.
Camilla
that
Scott
doesn't-
in that?
Camilla Scott was
That's
in.
right.
Yeah, she was the lead in it when I saw it, and I thought it was the most entertaining night I've ever had, bar none. At the time, I was just perma-grin, and I just was completely in awe of these people singing and dancing and performing and making me laugh. And, so when I heard that was going to be the show, I was just like, I got to be a part of it. And so I got the role of Lank Hawkins, who's a bit of the, I guess if there's a villain in a Gershwin musical, it's Lank Hawkins. And, thankfully,
Be careful how you say that name.
it doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't require a lot of dancing and singing, so it was more of a comic relief character.
Better for you.
Yeah, tailor-made.
Was there mustache twirling?
There should have been.
Yeah.
There should have been had I been able to grow a mustache at that age, but
Yeah. Oh.
I wish. But it was good. It was a lot of fun. I fell in love with it.
So when you came back to Toronto from that experience, what was your first step in trying to establish yourself in the business?
Well, after my 4th year of university, I just assumed that you come back and you find out where you sign up for the sitcoms, and they hand them out, and Bob's your uncle, you're on your way. And it turns out that's not how it works in Toronto or anywhere in the world. And so then you realize, and you also realize that I have no idea what I'm doing. Because I wanted to be in film and television. I enjoy TV and I enjoy popcorn movies, and that's what I wanted to be a part of. And then you get into it and you realize that there isn't as much of that happening as you thought there was.
Mm-hmm.
So you start at the bottom and you go out you do your commercials and you do your small roles here and there, and over time the small roles and small things become big roles and small things, and then you go into small roles and big things, and you certainly hope that you can work your way up to the big roles and the big things, but it's a process.
How many agents have you had?
I've had one agency.
Oh, good.
I've had one agency, but
And a couple of agents within that agency?
And just the 2 agents within that agency.
No, they cover different areas though, don't they? Like
Yeah.
some cover more theater over film and television or commercial.
Yeah, well, I guess the first agent, his roster was made up of a lot of sketch comedy clients and theater.
Right.
And so he felt that a lot of his attention was being placed in those worlds, and the other agent had, I guess, room or an opening on her roster, and Linda sort of asked if I wanted to be on her roster, and that's something that I had wanted
From the beginning?
From the beginning. I mean, just because I assumed that you sort of, when you want to be with the person whose name's on the door type idea. So
Yeah.
no offense to
No,
Sam, but.
No names here. We don't give names here.
I haven't. I felt that we've had a great relationship, and I felt no need to move on. A lot of actors do feel that at times it's best to move on, but I think Linda and I have a relationship worth working with and staying with.
And how did you get to join that agency? How did you just what was the process?
Pure naivety.
Yeah?
Yeah. No, I went to ACTRA.
Mm-hmm.
I got some headshots done professionally in town, and then I went to ACTRA and I got their directory for all the agents in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured out, okay, well, these ones are over in the west side, these are over in the east side, and these are kind of up in Yonge Street North and stuff. So I just cold called. I just walked into each office I could that would allow me to walk into them and hand them my headshot and a resume of four school projects, and not a whole hell of a lot else. And
but because you are tyrannically handsome, the very first agent you went to took you on.
They vomited with excitement.
Yes.
At the idea.
Yeah.
Well,
As I did during the break.
I assume excitement. It may have been something else. Maybe been something they had for lunch. I don't know.
No.
But I walked into my agency and just politely left it on the
front desk
and I guess I don't know. I really don't know to this day. I wouldn't. I can't help but recommend that's how you do it because it worked for me. But at the same time, it's kind
Generally,
of
I
an
find
absurd
it's
situation.
the only way to at least try is to at least drop something off. I mean, mailing it is fine, walking it off in person is fine, but any new actor can't expect to be seen right there and then, right? So,
Right. Yeah,
just
so
like
at least
this,
it gives
here
it
it is.
FaceTime. And
Please give me a call if you get a chance, and get the hell out.
You mind your P's and Q's, and you thank them for taking it, and you walk out and hope for the best, prepare for the worst. And they called, and I had an interview, and I guess I answered some of the questions correctly, and they've been my agency now for 11, 12 years.
Well, let's talk about some more of that sort of thing when we come back. We'll be right back.
Yay! And we're back.
We're back. What's interesting is during the break, I fell in love with Ryan's calves all over again.
Not small cows.
Not small cows, but the world's largest calves.
I'm not gonna
show
I'm not
the
gonna
people.
show them.
Show the people.
I have calves. They're big. They're muscular.
I don't believe.
They're just little.
Good Lord,
Look
man.
at the size of those things.
They're tumorous.
Show off my toes too. I had a manicure and a pedicure. It's nice.
Pedicure. So we're back with Jefferson Brown.
Next question's up to you, James. Bring the show back around.
I'm going to bring the show back around.
Bring it.
Ryan, how did you get those calves?
Bring it all home.
I think it's genetic.
Bring it all home.
I have a family that has calves my size.
Does your dad have large calves?
Not that side of the family.
Okay.
He's a small person.
Does your mom have large calves?
Yes, she does. Would you like to meet her?
Yeah, I would.
I'll set up a date.
Okay. So we talked about you getting your agency, Jefferson. What was the first project that you were really proud to be a part of and challenged you as an actor and made you grow as a performer?
Do you understand what I mean?
I do now.
That's just implied.
now.
That's just implied by
You
the
simply
question.
clarified.
I did.
understood.
I did. Do you understand?
Yeah, no, absolutely. There is a short a short film called Pulling Punches that I did with a director that became a very good friend of mine, Carl DiPolino. And it was the first. Well, I'd done I think a commercial before this, and I was in acting class, and he was pulling people out of acting class to audition for the film. And
Pulling people for pulling punches?
pulling people for pulling punches.
Nice.
And then punching them in the auditions for pulling punches. So he pulled and punched.
Pulled
But
and
did he
punched.
pull his punches when he punched you?
No.
Well, then it must have been fun going back to acting class after that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you were motivated.
Yes.
He said it was all for the motivation. But we shot this short in Hamilton, Burlington. And yeah, it was great. I met a great friend out of it, and did a really good little film that got seen in some small festivals, and took a few awards at those small festivals, and it was a great experience, And from that, I met obviously Carl and another gentleman named Chris Raganetti, who was an actor on the film. But Chris and Carl started working together on scripts, and they wrote a film called Pigs. And that was a film that I did a number of years ago. That was also a great experience.
I saw that in the theater.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
It gave me a chance to work with my best friend, Darren Lucio. And they got to meet everybody. And it's been, that proved to be a very fruitful short film.
Excellent. Excellent.
Sure, because
Yeah.
you and Darren now collaborate on a few projects
That's right.
too. So
Yeah. And we'd work together again on a small sort of short with Carl as well, and the cinematographer, Gurmeet Man, and it's just sort of the gift that keeps on giving. Yeah.
in the last few years, what do you think is probably your favorite project that you've been a part of, whether as as a lead or as like a sort of a support, that something that's just been a lot of fun to work with and just in general?
That's pretty unfair.
Well, okay, let me direct.
What was your favorite Tim Hortons commercial you did?
Of the three, the one in the towel.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
to
Okay.
get that one
Yeah,
out of
okay.
the way. For
So
the
For those of you in the United States, it's the equivalent of Dunkin' Donuts.
you can't put any type of equivalent.
You absolutely
Tim Hortons.
can.
Tim Hortons is more than that.
Well,
Did Tim Hortons go into the States?
They are technically in the States.
and Ohio.
And in New York State.
No longer in Florida, but I believe in Ohio.
well, he did play for the Buffalo Sabres, so
But he gave back to me.
Yes.
I say it's unfair simply because I've been extremely fortunate in working with a lot of projects that I have been very excited about.
Sure.
And have been enjoyable at the time, but also beneficial for the career and also the relationships that I got to make along the way.
But there's got to be a few that at least stand out, even because you can say that 10 projects were amazing and you had a good time and you learned something from them.
Yeah.
But 2 of them
I'd
were
be
more
lying.
significant
Yeah.
than others.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
it's like so.
certainly. I find that my most enjoyable experiences on a set are when I'm given the environment or the opportunity to collaborate with what I'm doing within that environment.
Right.
I've had some really great experiences on a couple of web series. One being My Pal Satan that I did through the CFC.
Yeah.
And another one called Life Unjarred, which was a branded series with the people at Fresh Baked Entertainment. And it was for VH sauces. I became a bit of a spokesperson. My character became a spokesperson for that.
I'm
that
a fan of VH sauces.
Well, you should check out lifeunjarred.com. It's a...
How
it was
subtle
an
is the
environment.
product aspect of that show?
It's about the story. And that was always the sort of the mandate that I had going into it, as well as the director and creator, Brett Hurd, is that we wanted to make sure that we told a story. And the story is about a stay-at-home father who somewhat reluctantly becomes a spokesperson for the product.
Mm-hmm.
So the product is spoken of, but it's not spoken of in the way that it's a pitch.
Mm-hmm.
It's spoken of in a way that it's him dealing with the product, him dealing with the new job. And so I found it to be a bit more natural. And we did cooking segments in which you do sort of not really pitch the product, but you mention it by
And you use it, and
yeah. But those were great. Those were a lot of fun. I mean, I think my coming out of that job, having the opportunity to work with somebody like Brett Hurd, him and I got along famously, and I grew as an actor working with him because he gave me the confidence to try what I found instinctively, I don't know, not necessarily instinctively funny, but instinctively true to the situation. So now I've been trying to apply that as much as I can to the projects that have come since.
Great.
Yeah, and actually we worked in January on the film Stag here in Toronto with a great cast and a great crew, and that was again one of those situations where you just...
That's Brett Hurd as well, right?
I love what I do, yeah. That was Brett wrote and directed that.
Nice. What's happening with that?
It's locked, it's done.
Right on.
And we're hoping to have a screening for cast and crew coming up, and outside of that, I guess he's just, we're knocking on doors.
And hoping a couple of festivals might...
Yeah, we missed out on TIFF this year, but you didn't move on to the next one.
Now, did you miss out on applying or on...
Oh, they didn't like it.
That happens.
No, I mean, it's a commercial film. It's a commercial film. I don't think
we've
it
both
really...
been a part of a film that went through that before, so...
Yeah, it's a situation where sometimes it just doesn't fit into
their mandate, their schedule.
The scope of what they got. And this year was a bumper crop of films that they had submitted. It was, I guess, a record year for...
That weren't Canadian.
Well, the other thing is that they're mandated to only accept a certain amount from every province as well. Like, so it's like...
is that right?
Yeah, so it's like if I was to compete against something that came in from Newfoundland, the Newfoundland film will come in first, and then they have to compete against other films from Newfoundland because...
But what
because they might have already chosen 2 films from Ontario producers who, just have a bigger name than us and might have a better product.
I'm not in any of them. This has been proven.
I can guarantee you my name or your name are not on any of them either.
Yeah.
Oh, I could have told you that a few years ago. That I
What
wouldn't
about
be
this year?
in any of the films in 2011. I think.
Fair enough.
I could have.
But what
told you
about
that.
next year?
Do you understand?
Do you have faith and anticipation that you might be involved next year?
Maybe a couple of years down the road. Because by then I'll be producing Turkish co-productions, and we'll get in.
There you go.
By the Turkish Council for Film and Television.
And Big Turk chocolate bars.
Big Turk.
Love Big Turk.
I think you're a pro about
Turkish
Big Turk.
coffee.
Turkish coffee.
This is
That's a bunch of
Turkishly delightful.
Istanbul. Jefferson, what have you
Yeah.
got on deck? We got to wrap this up. What projects have you got coming up? And
We got a number of films coming up.
Let's hear it.
Well, a number of films in the can that are hoping to be released.
why do you keep them in your washroom?
Well, I think that's where most of my performances belong. For one.
It's a one-sided
Soaking in a
opinion.
bubble bath. What do you mean?
Oh, of
What
course.
were you, what were you thinking?
Yeah, of course. It's,
But we got Mr. Viral coming up. We got Stag coming up. We got a few. Look for me in Silent Hill 2 Revelations. Look for me in the.
do you get killed?
No.
Good for you.
Look for me in the dance film Kobu 3D. with-
3D.
Yeah.
Jefferson Brown in
right
3D.
at you. Coming right at you.
Coming like so far
It's
in
like
your
I'm
face.
right there.
Yeah.
Coming in all your
Now,
faces.
again,
Yeah.
are you in a role that might be doing some dancing?
I'm not. Again.
How do you avoid this all the time?
I don't know.
You're in like all the
Luck.
greatest musicals, and yet you don't dance.
It's
or sing.
either luck or lack of talent. So.
Well, thank
you
God you're
decide.
attractive.
You decide. And then I got. I just wrapped a film called Please Kill Mr. Know-It-All. And then I got. Being Erica, 4th season. My character has come back, and he's in 4th season. So I've been doing a few episodes of that.
Great.
And yeah, it's about it right now.
That's-
Rookie Blue got renewed for.
Are you
a
on
3rd
Rookie Blue
season.
as
I got
well?
a small recurring in Rookie
Fantastic. They were in today.
So whether or not I'm going to be coming back for that is yet to be known.
Now,
Yet to
just
be seen.
so you give some of your fellow thespians or aspiring thespians some hope.
Oh.
You had a
I'm not going anywhere.
You had a real
Oh.
drought for a while. Like you had some roles, and then it was kind of touch and go there for a while, and now you're like a career can have its ups and downs.
Yeah, well, I think everything is. I think it's less up and down, and almost more of it's more cyclical, but in like almost a Fibonacci sort of way. You know what I mean? Because
I don't understand.
well. I liken it to a spiral. Stay with me, guys. I liken it to a spiral starting from the inside, and that's like sort of the nucleus in the beginning. And as you come around, your circumference isn't that great, and so when you hit those low periods, as every performer, anyone in the business will agree to, is that those lows don't get all that low because you have nothing to compare them to on the other side of the high. And then as you proceed, your circles get a bit wider and a bit exponentially larger. And
You've
so
had a taste.
because you get a taste, you get a taste, and then so when you come back down again, it feels that much lower. Where it could have felt low to go say 3 months without a job. You start to feel like shit's ended after 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And so, everybody just wants to keep working, but the more you work, the more you expect to work. There are a lot of people say, "Oh, you can't win them all." And I'm like, "Well, why the fuck not? Is that a rule? I mean, why can't I win them all if my schedule allows?" But you don't win them all, and you can't win them all. I guess. Still not sure why, but you just keep going. You just keep going, and the more you work, the hopefully work begets work, and you just sort of. You slog through the low times and just keep telling you this will pass. And you have to keep telling yourself that when you are working, that this too shall pass. Because it does. It does. And you enjoy it, and you squirrel some money away, and don't throw out your resume if need be, and you never know. But you just keep plugging away. Yeah.
Jefferson Brown, plugging away. Thanks for listening and watching. Cast This. I'm James Scott.
I'm Ryan Goldhart.
see
This was Jefferson Brown.
We will see you next time. Thanks a lot, Jeff.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Right on.
That is
Do you
a
understand?
strong handshake.